right, so the first thing that we're going to use is 2 cups of flour. This is a 2-cup measure. It's going to be 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. And you're gonna mix this up. And scones are put together in the biscuit method. So they're basically just a sweeter version of a biscuit. So we're gonna take our pastry blender and we're gonna need 1 stick of cold, unsalted butter, because we already added our salt. And you can give yourself a head start by cutting this up. And you're going to use the pastry blender. I like this one because it's got the little spot for your thumb to put extra pressure. And we're going to do this until we have pea-sized pieces of butter. And what that's going to do is coat some of the flour with a little bit of butter, which protects it from when we add the buttermilk. And it protects it, meaning if it can't get wet, it can't form gluten. So these will be really tender, because we know that gluten is the protein that makes things tough and elastic when we're making things like bagels and pizza and things like that. But scones should not be tough and elastic. They should be nice and tender. The other thing that it's going to do is it's going to create these pockets of cold butter that are going to melt in the oven, and they're going to create steam, and that steam is going to give us those flakes that we like in biscuits and things like that. So soda bread, as someone in class had asked, does soda bread use soda? No, it doesn't use soda the drink, it uses baking soda. In other recipes that you'll see in Europe, they won't even write baking soda, it'll just say soda, which can be confusing. So regular breads use, or most breads I should say, use yeast to leaven them, but this is leavened with baking powder and baking soda. And baking powder is different from baking soda in the sense that it already has the acid added to it. It's a convenience product that didn't always exist. So other recipes you might see only have baking soda, and they rely on acid to adjust the pH of the rest of the recipe. Because we're going to have some acid in the buttermilk. It's naturally acidic. And buttermilk is the milk that's left over after making butter traditionally, but now it's basically just a cultured product that is made just like yogurt. All right, so I can feel that I have about pea-sized pieces, and I want to try to get all the butter out of there. Now I'm going to split this up half and half because I'm at home and my kids are not going to eat raisins. Like a lot of you would probably not eat raisins. So I'm going to about eyeball this half and half. This is a smaller bowl, so it's hard to tell. And I'm going to mix in my buttermilk, my cold buttermilk. Some of my raisins. And you could add chocolate chips in this one. And it's just enough to moisten. And that's it. I'm going to set this off to the side while I mix the other one. For this one, I'm just going to add some mini chocolate chips. I'm ready here. And my big scooper is what I'm going to be using. this is going to bake at 425 until it is golden brown. 15 to 20 minutes. And we'll check back then. And here they are. You'll see that this batter is definitely, it was wetter than a biscuit dough. So you're not going to see those flakes like you would if we had a stiffer dough. But this is definitely going to be tender and moist with all of that butter and the buttermilk. And in this case, it's got those chocolate chips. The rest of them have the raisins.